Okay, I'm all set up now. I've got 3 setups with me. I'm being greedy today. Saves me changing. I've got my floating line. I've got my intermediate. It's a slow sink, 1.5 inches a second. And I've got a sinking line, fast sinker. I've got a little booby on that one, a black booby on that, with just a 4-5 foot leader. I'm going to let that sort of hit the bottom and then just very slowly retrieve. Try that. On my floating rig at the moment, I do have a bung up the top. It is windy as hell, so that just might not work out. I've got a couple of nips on it, buzzers rather, sorry. And then I got my bloodworm, little shrimp up on the top dropper, and my point fly is this little baby. Someone will tell me what that is. I'm not quite sure. I've got some green flash on it, black. That's on my intermediate rig. So, gonna go and see what we can catch. And so the long trudge begins. The fishery is nearly empty. They haven't stocked it for ages, and there are 4 lakes on this fishery, and the furthest is the one that apparently has the most fish still in it. So off we jolly well trot. This one here is the second lake. Apparently they breed tench, or I say breed, they grow tench on in here. They stock it with tench. That's why the water's quite muddy in here. Apparently there are some trout in here, but they grow the tench on and then sell them to other fisheries. So it'd be interesting to see if you could catch a tench. See how today goes. If I'm having no luck whatever on that end lake, I might even wander back up and just give it a go, see what happens. Okay, here I am. So I've got my floating line here, Rio Gold, on point, black buzzer. My first dropper is a black buzzer as well, and I've got bung up top for a bung fly, big orange blob with a hook in it. Don't expect that to be taken, if I'm honest. Right, so plenty of line out. Going with very low stock levels here. I'm not sure what to expect today, but even if there's one in here, as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to catch it. Apart from this wind, it's actually really quite mild. I think it's set to be between 25 to 40 kilometres an hour, they said today, and I think they've got it right. This is the nearest I've got to shelter. It's just this very end of the lake. You've just got these trees behind you, otherwise totally open. Because I'm right-handed, wind coming that way is really good for me at the moment. Just give that a little bit of movement. See if we can entice something. It's nice just to be out again. Said in my last video here, I do like having a lake to myself. I've got a funny feeling that there's another guy turned up just as I was walking over here. I saw him pull up, and my guess is he'll make his way down here. I think, well, I know the lady who runs this fishery is telling me to come down to this lake, so she's probably telling everyone to do the same. So I might have to share it with another person. That's a bit much. What a nightmare. The gink that I'm putting on these blob flies only lasts about 4 or 5 casts. I ginked this up before I came down here, so I had plenty of time to dry out. It was, you know, thoroughly, and it's got cork, not cork, it's got a bit of foam on that fly as well. But I don't know if anyone can actually give me some advice on something that you can put on a fly that will keep it floating for more than sort of 4 or 5 casts, because I'm yet to find anything that does that. Like I say, if I can see a fish roll or watch my bung disappear and the line straighten, anything like that, even if I don't hook up, that will give me a little bit of encouragement for today. Ooh. Aha, there's a fish in here. Hooray! Now I missed it, admittedly, but there's a fish in here, and it seemed to like what I put in front of it. I was on the phone to my son and the line stripped out, so for 5 minutes I've played this thing. Oh, hang on, my phone's ringing again. Sorry, I bum dialed. I'll see ya. Sorry. Okay, bye. This is quite a way to catch a fish. It's amazing how many times when I am fishing that I catch a fish when I'm on the phone. I mean, it happened at Grafham, it's now happened here. This looks reasonable. Just trying to see, he's taking that on the dropper. That's a nice looking fish. Really nice looking fish. Oh, if it was a brown, it's not, it's a rainbow, but it's a nice looking rainbow. Let's see if we can get you in, my friend. I don't know how well he's hooked. I'll find out in a minute. Yeah, it's a good couple. Oh, that might even be bigger than a couple of pounds. Near a £3. Well, let's see if we can get you to the net, my friend. Don't want to force it. It's a nice trout. Slightly bigger than your average. Having said that, I haven't caught it yet. Let's see about that. Come on, baby. Up you come. Up you come. Up you come. That is a slab. That's a nice trout. That's my biggest trout ever, I think. That is a nice fish. Wow. That's over £3. My biggest is 3.5. I think that's getting on for £4, maybe even bigger. What a good start. What a great start. Fantastic. Now, I think I explained at this fishery before, you have to keep your first 3 fish. So let's have a look at that. It's a chunky boy. He took on the black buzzer, which I'm happy to say was well in there. Making a meal of getting this out. Oops, he's got sharp teeth. Cute. Okay, here we go again. £4 on the button. That I'm really pleased with that. Size is going up. My biggest in my early days was £3. Then I started back at Grafham in Did a trip there, I think it was September. I've got a video online, I can't remember if it was September or October. And I caught 3.5 pound trout, which fought like bejesus, I must admit. Put that one to shame. And then caught several around that size, quite a few 3-pounders. But then that one is 4, so really pleased. It's funny, that last take I was on the phone, as you know, and I think the blob had long since disappeared. I looked up and the line was stripping out. Quite lucky to catch that, without a doubt. But again, it goes back to what I was saying. There was no degree of skill in what just happened there. That was fish came along, hooked itself, and the hook set was good enough that it kept it on board. When I've had people say, some days I've had lots of fish that have got off. You'll invariably hear someone say, "Oh, it's bad angling." No, it's bad angling. No, it's not. It's a bad hook set. If you're keeping the line taut, which I am, if it's not hooked properly, the hook can come out. They're shaking their heads about violently. By the same token, the hook certainly shouldn't have stayed in there. If you're saying it's all about skill, it basically took that, ran off with it itself, and luckily the hook was well enough in that it wasn't coming out. I could have, oh, fish straight out there on top. I could have gone off and had a cup of tea and come back to that. It still would have been on. My mum's going to have trout this weekend. She does like a bit of trout. I shall be filleting that later on. I've said in previous videos, I've really got into filleting fish now. I'm not into cooking them whole. I just cannot be bothered with anything that's got too many bones in, so by filleting them, literally they're boneless, get everything out. I found what works quite well, and I have been doing recently, is breadcrumbing them. So get a bit of egg white, a bit of milk, and then coat the fish in the egg white, roll it in breadcrumbs. And what we're doing with the breadcrumbs as well is flavouring them, so putting some spices in there, bit of salt, bit of black pepper, just season it well, then shallow fry them. And I started doing that with snapper over in the Keys, and I thought, well, surely it would work on trout, and it does. It's really nice bit of hollandaise sauce, a few chips, even better. I know I said earlier I'd grab one of those chairs, bring it over and sit down and be lazy, but I know I won't. I'm going to wander down there in a minute. Try a few casts out there. Trouble is, this whole corner here is all waterlogged, so you can't get to it, so you've got to go halfway down the lake, or halfway down the bank, before you can actually fish again. Oh, now that's interesting. Now that's not a million miles from my bung and all the rest of my gear. Let's just give that a bit of movement. See if I can entice him. Oh my god, I'm standing on my line. I saw it move once, just really subtle again. A lot of my takes today are very, very subtle. But I saw it move. I thought, shall I strike that? And I was convinced, I sort of convinced myself that it wasn't really moving. Then it just nudged again, and bingo. Oh, he's not very fighty. This is a straight to the net job. There we go. Nice. Well, that's not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I spoke to my wife on the phone and was told don't release the 3 that you're allowed to keep because there are lots of people wanting trout. My mum, her. That's a nice take. I nearly switched the camera on when I did that cast. Just thought, ooh, that looks a nice place. I managed to get it down that bank. Probably should have done. But I've got a feeling, I don't know, but I think it might be the apps again. In which case I've had 3 takes in 10 minutes on that, having had an hour and a half of not an awful lot. Might be on the buzzer, we'll see in a minute. Well, this one's got certainly a lot more go than the last one had. Oops, crap all over my rod handle, which is now all over my hand. Oh, I say crap, I just mean mud. Again, I just gave that a bit of movement and then watched the line. The line straightened. Well, that's the best take I've had yet. It didn't rip out, but it straightened quite noticeably. That wasn't a is it and isn't it kind of take. That was a I've got something on the end of that kind of take. Oh no, it's not on the apps because I just saw that. And if I saw the apps, I don't fully understand that because the apps is down on the bottom, so it must have got in a bit of a tangle there. That's putting up a good fight. Having had a sort of hour and a half of inactivity, it's really nice to get a couple of fish within 10 minutes. So he must have taken the buzzer. The apps has just got a bit tangled around the main line, around the leader. I think that's what's happened there. I haven't used a second hand there. It's just putting up a good account for itself. So that would be 3 on buzzers and 1 on the apps so far. Like I say, definitely putting up a good account. Whoa! Oh, he is definitely a healthy fish. Come on, time to come in now. Enough mucking about. You're in. I think it's a couple of pounds. Oh yeah, that's a good couple. That might even be closer to 3. In fact, I think it is. Right, I'll put my rod there. I don't want to get in the mud. He's chunky. He's definitely over 2, without a doubt. And yeah, it's the buzzer again. We straightened that out. Good grief. Okay, so I've weighed the 3 fish that I've got, and together they weigh 7 pounds 12 ounces. So I'm pretty pleased with that. Biggest one at 4, chuffed as nuts. Got another couple of 3 hours of fishing at least, so it'd be nice. Ooh, yeah, wow, that was the next cast. Hopefully it's... Well, that was frustrating. Nice fish, 2 pounds, battery ran out. Did you see that little straightening of the line? Like that, that was me, but that's all you're looking for in reverse, effectively. just like that. Brilliant. Well, they're definitely up in this corner. I don't know if that will have shown up on camera, but the line just started to straighten out a little bit. And then you just got to have the faith to believe it's a fish and strike it. So far, every time I've struck it today, there's been a nice weight on the end of it. It's a similar sized fish to the last one, about 2 pounds I reckon. This seems to be where they're at. That's 4 fish in 20 minutes. 2 fish in 2 casts, 3 fish in about 4 casts I think. Just got to check my rod isn't coming loose, because that eye is not in line with my reel. Just want to make sure I don't do a cast and watch the last 3 sections of my rod disappear off into the lake. Okay, he's certainly putting up a good scrap, and this time it's on the Apps bloodworm. Oh, so that's at least 2 on that I know of. Yeah, this definitely had moved. Get that net out there ready for him. I'm going to bully him in a minute. Again, I just don't want him getting too exhausted. Whoopsie daisy, keep banging the flipping camera. Come on, you need to come in now. Come on, I don't want you getting knackered. There we go. Nice. Slightly bigger than the last one, about 2.5. Maybe getting on for 3. In any case, let's have a look, see where he's caught. Right in the corner. Oopsie daisy. Don't want a hook in my mouth. Damn mouth. Line is going, get it off him. I'm going to put him back in the net, just let him recover for a bit before I set him free. Make sure he's the right way up. Quite nice markings on him. Come on buddy, there you go, there he goes. There's a nice fish. On towards 3 pounds I would say he was. Right, nearly forgot to do a sign off piece. Been a really good day. Got my 6 fish. 3 I'm taking home. The 3 combined weigh £7 12 ounces. The biggest one was £4 on the nose, so as I said before, really happy. Gonna go and take my stuff apart, put my tackle away, and then nip back down to the hut and fill out my forms just to say what I've taken, and then I'll be on my way. A really good day.